Welcome to Author Skill Set Wednesday. Today's quote. Welcome to Author Skill Set Wednesday. Today's quote comes from Gore Vidal, who said, "I sometimes think it is because they are so bad at expressing themselves verbally that writers take to pen and paper in the first place." That's both funny and both sad, because, well, we'll get to that in a minute. Hi there, my name is Christopher Diarmani, and it is my pleasure and my passion to help nonfiction authors specifically, and probably a nonfiction author just like you, to turn that dream you have of writing a book into your published reality. And one of the ways I help authors just like you do that is by helping you incorporate systems of success into your writing. It's really a lot of fun, and it works so well. And if you followed me for any length of time, you know that I love implementing systems that guarantee my success, so long as I work them. There's always the component that I need to do something involved, but the system itself, as long as I follow it, will make sure that happens. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So to write a book that transforms a life, the life of your ideal reader, for example, you must take whatever writing talent God gave you, whether it's a thimbleful or a bucketful, and you must hone it into a mighty skill that will allow you to set those messages out in a way that your ideal reader can hear them best. It's a beautiful thing. Because the truth is, if you can't think well, and that's the whole point of this, taking the time to do this stuff, is if we take the time to learn how to think well, then we can write well. And the good news is, of course, that we can learn anything we put our minds to learning. We get to make the choice of what we get to learn, why we get to learn it, and how far we get to go with it. That's a really great thing. And when it comes to honing our writing skills, there's so many ways to become a better writer. I've talked about some of them already this week. I'll be talking about some more of them later in the week. It really, really boils down to simplicity. We like to make things difficult in our minds, and it's an unfortunate human trait is what it is. Really unfortunate human trait. Simply schedule your writing sessions. Just do that on your calendar every day, ideally at the same time every day. Schedule, I don't know, a half hour or an hour to write. Put it on the schedule, and then do the really, really insane thing. Keep the appointment with yourself. Make sure you show up at the appointed hour and write for as long as you've set aside for writing. And write for that entire time. And so if you do that, especially if you do it whether you feel like it or not, when you do these tasks in this order, whether you feel like it or not, an amazing thing will happen. You'll become a better writer every single day. You'll become a better writer tomorrow than you are today. And today you'll already be a better writer than you were yesterday. So I want you to take the page out of Ray Bradbury's book. This is at the top of the page, is a tail end of one of his really great quotes. So the whole point is to practice. So I want to challenge you to do what Ray Bradbury did. Didn't know that was going to be so hard to say. Write one new story every single week for a year. That sounds crazy, perhaps. It's not. It's actually really doable. It's really not hard at all. But when you set this goal for yourself to write one new story every single week, you have to do things like scheduling your writing time, and so just so you make sure you get it done. It forces you to write every single day. It helps you build that writing habit that allows you to hone your craft faster than any other way. Because when you do something every single day, you're going to get better way faster than if you do that one thing once a week, or even worse, once a month. So true. So when you look back at today's writing a year from now, you'll probably be horrified. I know I am. Whenever I look at stuff I've written a year ago or 2 years ago, it's like, man, how did I let that get out the door? But at the time, it was the best I could do. I can do better now, so that's why I look back at these things and sort of occasionally have a shudder, because, it wouldn't pass the test today, even though it passed the test then. You'll probably be, like I was, surprised. And here's another thing. Speaking solely for myself, I have yet to publish a single thing. Not a blog post, not a newspaper, not a magazine article, and certainly not any of the books that I published, without knowing 10 minutes later that I could have done something in one of those pieces of work better. Sometimes 10 seconds later, I'm like, man, how did I let that happen? But that's part of life, and that's exactly how it should be. because we're always going to come up with a better way of doing something. We're always going to find a better way to express ourselves. That's kind of how it is. The joy is in the journey, not in the destination. And it really applies to writing because there is no destination in writing. We're always trying to do better than we did yesterday. Because no matter how amazing we wrote yesterday, today we can do better, and we know we can. And so that's why we do this every single day. It's a habit that takes a minute to get into, but set yourself that goal just to commit to writing anything. I don't care what you write anything. Write out what you're frustrated about, what you love, pick a subject, who cares? Write for 15 minutes a day if that's what it takes to get started, but do it every day, consistently, religiously, so that at the end of a month, you've written for 30 days in a row. It's a great little mini success chain. And you'll probably discover, like I have over the years, that the more days in a row that I write, the less willing I'm willing to break that chain. I don't want to have an X on the day where there should be a check mark. I want to make sure that all those days have check marks, because that is the joy of making sure that I'm improving every single day. And hopefully that'll work for you. And if this idea, strikes a chord with you, please share in the comments what jumped out at you most, what resonated for you the most. And of course, please connect with me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. All the links to all of my social media channels and a couple other really fun things are found at sleepbio.com/Christopher. So go there, check it all out. Links to the social media accounts, links to a couple other things that if you're trying to become a better writer, you might enjoy. You never know. So with that, have a fantastic rest of your day. And if you don't do anything else today, try this. Learn one new way of thinking a little better than you did yesterday. Lots of sources for stuff like that. Go find one, put it into your life, put it into practice, and see what happens. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll talk to you again tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Bye for now.